So I've got everything ready to go. I got my waypoint set in, my loadout selected. I accidentally forgot to select my loadout on the taxi, so I was doing it on the runway. I'm not lined up center because there's a bit of a crosswind. I was having trouble staying center the entire time, so I kind of lined up on the right side to give myself a little bit of extra space. And even then, I still nearly go off the runway. But we're loaded up with, bombs and fuel, so we're kind of heavy. So it takes a little bit extra to get up. And that's the last time you will see my landing gear.
That's the last time you'll see my landing.
Yeah, so you probably heard that in the recording. I didn't realize it recorded my voice. But it was doing pretty alright. Pretty smooth takeoff. I mean, for having less than 6-8 hours in the game, kind of alright. Garbage. So I'll skip ahead, and I had selected a group of tanks to do a couple bombing runs on. And we're just running dumb bombs. I'm not doing anything with guidance or any guided munitions, so just trying to get used to doing just a plain old dive bomb. You can kind of see in the bottom right, there's like these little red dots. It's kind of not so much. And you can hear me. I'm actually going over Mach because as I like rotate the camera, I get ahead of my shockwave. So that's why the audio is quiet. It's going faster than the sound. So you start to see the enemies that have been spawned in. And I'm trying to line up to get a good. I think I'm just gonna. Yeah, I just sent it right here. I'm like, yeah, good enough. I start my roll and come in, and I'm having a lot of trouble lining it up right here. I'm going too fast. I don't think I gave myself enough time to figure it out, so I eventually just decided not to do it. I just pull off, and I'm going to try and run it again here. Like, literally, I just learned how to do bombing runs yesterday, like the day before.
From his last minute. Right.
Yeah, I just decided to pull up last minute. I'm like, yep, nope, not even going to try to hit him. Because if you're pushing your nose down while you're doing a bombing run, you risk the chance of like actually running into your own bombs. So yeah, right there, I'm breaking the speed of sound. I'm going a little too fast, but fast is fun, right? And I wonder why I run out of fuel really quickly. I'll have to learn how to do air refueling one of these days. That's going to be a hell of a process. That is probably the most trickiest things up there with landing on a carrier, which I don't think I'll ever attempt, which is kind of why I picked F-16, because I don't think I have the ability to land on a carrier like the F-18. Plus this is faster. I think it looks better. I like the look of the F-16. So here I kind of came back around. I'm selecting a new set of targets. I didn't get a good cockpit view, so you can see where I'm lining up the targets before I start my dive. But like you want to line it up like right where your dashboard meets the ring of the cockpit, if that makes sense. It's that little black ring there. You want it to line up with that. And you want to pull. You don't want to pull up really. You just want to like level out your wings, which I really didn't do a good job here. And you'll see that because I didn't level up, I just missed by a couple hundred feet. Like, that was a swing and a miss there. But we'll try it again. We got 2 more rounds of 2 bombs, you know. I'm doing drops of pairs because when I first started playing, I was learning on the frog foot. I don't know what the hell I was doing, mostly because everything was in Russian. So I couldn't really understand what was going on, but I ended up like dropping all the bombs on one side of my wing, and the other side was so heavy, I started like banking left
So
because it was
weird.
heavier than the right, and I tried to correct it by rolling right, and like the stress of me rolling right to try to correct and go level again ripped off my wing, and I just corkscrewed into the ground. So
Yeah, definitely
I'm
not
really
letting it off
hesitant to
this
drop
level.
like single bombs. I mean, I probably could get away with it because these are just 500 pounds, so they're not incredibly. They're really not going to set off the offset of my weight too much, but I'm being a little over hesitant. I think this time I'm selecting. There's a. I think it's a big group of tanks, and I think I nailed one pretty hard, and then I think I kind of whiffed it with the other bomb. But this one I'm not doing such a steep dive on. I'm doing more of a shallow, straight on approach versus like a dive bomb, which is a little bit easier, but you're on the risk of like just getting obliterated by AAA or SAMs because you're coming in so long. They have a really long time to target you. But I'm still going pretty fast. Like I'm doing 500 knots and a really shallow angle. More bombs away here. I think I got a pretty good beat on this one tank here. Yeah.
Woo! I smoked that one T-72.
Yeah, you can hear me, my dumbass in the background. Like the microphone wasn't up to my face, so it's kind of. I think it was recording off of my webcam microphone instead of my headset. But I got one more set of dumb bombs, and there's a pair of T-72s or T-55s that I'm gonna go after, and I dunked on one of them. It was I think a really good shot, but it didn't say I destroyed it, so I'm not sure. I want to see if there's a way I can get like a better angle of impact on it, or like a view of impact on it. I think this one's more of a, like, again, another like shallow, straight on approach. I really need to work on my dive bomb. That one I'll practice some more. Get better at. Bombs away here any minute now. There we go. And bam! Oh, he's having a bad day now. So whatever white tire is, I think it's just like the little barriers around the tank I just took out. But I'm like, let's RTV, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, I got some gun. We got plenty of fuel. We'll do a gun run or two and see what we can hit. You really can see those wings flexing with that the G forces on that. There's these bottom first set of targets here, or just I think just like Urals or like trucks, and yeah, just give it a little burst to see what happens, and then I'm lining it up. You'll see the impact rounds here in a second. Right there they are. And my second run, took out that one truck right there. It did pretty good. And then I think right here, like you'll hear it say fuel, and I'm like, all right, time to go back home. I forgot to put an extra bag underneath. I could put a 300-pound. Yeah, 300-pound bag of gas underneath me. If I would have had that, I definitely would have been able to get like 2 more runs in. But I set my waypoint for the airfield I took off from, navigated to it, here I am kind of like lining up and start my approach. I have no idea if I'm doing like patterns correctly or approaches correctly. Like this is literally me just, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna land. And you'll see in a second that I am an amateur. So I put my air brakes on, slow me down a bit. Gonna come in nice and easy, line it up straight, give me plenty of space to get a good angle of attack, and nice and straight on the runway here. I'm maybe at 10 miles out, so I'm gonna speed down a bit. Come back around nice and gently. Really light here. I could have dropped the bags, but I really don't know how to tell if my external tanks are empty. I gotta look into how to determine that, so I know if I can drop them or not, or if I can use my fuel by dropping too early to save weight. There's a bit of a crosswind. I think it's coming at it's a headwind coming from like the probably 10 o'clock position, which isn't going to matter because you'll see in a second. There's something missing here. Kind of important. By now you should have them out. And I'm like, oh man, I'm in my head. I'm like, that was great. You know, I got 2, maybe 3 solid kills. I learned how to navigate with waypoints and how to enter nav points. They call them steering points in this aircraft. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah, we did a good job. Had everything set, ready to go. Did all my switches, but I missed one really important switch here. And like I'm coming in, like, all right, as long as you don't land in grass, we're good. Like I can, as long as you touch on the tarmac, we'll be solid. And then you hear, oh, there's master caution, and I'm like, oh, no, too late. Oh, that's what that beeping was. I didn't have landing gear up. We're down. And I'm like, let's just give it gas and see what happens. Maybe we'll be able to take back off and go back around. And it just, everything goes to hell at this point. I lose my left wing, and I'm barreling towards the C-130, and somehow I miss it. I don't know how. And I just